23-13 and 2 run with the complimentary plays after watching yesterday's selection on Florida push against Dayton. Going to break down the Michigan-Kentucky game for you, plus give you an NBA free selection on Memphis and Portland, plus give you quick thoughts on another NBA contest between Minnesota and Brooklyn as well. Listen, guys, yesterday in the video report, I happened to tell you that yesterday, Jeff Benton, Anthony Redd, Brad Wilton all had 100-dime max wager releases on the same exact side of Wisconsin and Arizona. I figured I at least could do is save you some money. And all three guys won, as Wisconsin pulled the outright upset as a 3-point dog, winning in a thriller in overtime against the Wildcats. Well, today we have a similar situation. Here's what I wanted to tell you. Anthony Redd, again, 100-dime basketball winner, number 9 out of 10. And in college hoops, he's on a 7-1-1 run with these releases. It's Kentucky, Michigan. Brad Wilton, who has made $10 bettors a little over $10,800 since July. 100-dime winner, number 9 out of 11. It again is the biggest basketball release he has had since joining the site prior to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. And it's on Kentucky, Michigan. It's just as strong as his 100-dime winner with Wisconsin last night. Just as strong as his 100-dime winner, you may recall, with Florida over Pittsburgh last Saturday. Just as strong as his 100-dime winner in that little game between the Broncos and the Seahawks on Seattle a month and a half ago. Brian Rosica, 100-dime max wager winner, number 8 out of 11. His overall winner, number 11 out of 16. Also in Michigan, Kentucky. And keep in mind, he just hit 80-dime plays with Wisconsin over Baylor on Thursday night. Wisconsin again last night outright over Arizona. Well, here's the deal, guys. All three of those guys are on the same side of today's game between Kentucky and Michigan. But Gabriel DuPont, he's going the other direction. And this is a guy who's 9-2 with his paid and free selections so far in the big dance. His 100-dime winner, number 11 out of 16, again, is on the opposite side of Rosica, Wilton, and Anthony Redd. He had a 100-dime winner last night on Wisconsin, had a 40-dime winner on Tennessee on Friday. So there you go. You got Wilton, Rosica, and Redd on this side of that game. You got DuPont on the other side. Buy one. You know what the other guys have. Listen, you can use the money-saving discount coupon code if you'd like today. That coupon code will save you $26 off a single purchase, and that code is SAVE26. SAVE26. S-A-V-E and the number 26. Also today, Scott Delaney, 100-dime college basketball winner, number 10 out of 12. This is a guy who, with 100-dime releases the past 3 years in all sports combined, 51 wins, 29 losses, and 1 push. Just as strong as his 100-dime winner on Dayton outright over Stanford on Thursday that you got as the half-price play of the day. Today, his big dance total of the year, your Kentucky, Michigan over-under. You can save $85 on the purchase of that play simply by using coupon code SCOTT85. SCOTT85. And then finally, charity play of the week winner, number 29 out of 49 goes today, and it's in the NBA. Shawn Michaels, NBA Game of the Month. Trailblazers, Grizzlies, 9:05 Eastern Time tip-off. You get this latest 50-dime release from Shawn Michaels absolutely free simply by using coupon code FREE. You know the deal with the Charity Play of the Week selections, guys. Quid pro quo. If I happen to give you a play that wins the next day, I ask you to make a donation to a charity, an organization, an individual that's in some type of financial need and distress. And you guys have responded magnificently over the years. I've given out over $5.5 million worth of plays over the past 2 years. And you, in turn, have contributed well over $300,000, maybe even $350,000 at this point to various individuals and organizations. Without your help, this program doesn't work. So again, you get it for free. It's a $99 play from a guy who's going for winning day number 90 out of 139 for a guy who has made $10 bettors, $27,740 the past 11 months. You get the 59 winner from Shawn Michaels' NBA Game of the Month for free simply by using coupon code FREE, F-R-E-E. It really is that simple. One other guy to tell you about, most of the guys are focusing on the late game between Kentucky and Michigan, which I'm going to talk about here in just a moment. I wanted to point out that Matt Rivers, 400,000 star winner, number 36 out of 59. More importantly, number 11 out of 13 the past 4 weeks. It's Michigan State and UConn, the side, second biggest play of the season. from Matt Rivers. Okay, let's talk about these games here. And I'll tell you what, neither one of them are easy games. That's for damn sure. The Michigan game against Kentucky. Listen, Kentucky, it will hurt them a bit today because Willie Cauley-Stein is doubtful because of a sprained ankle. Hell, he was in a walking boot yesterday still. Suffered the injury, the 7-footer did in the game against Louisville. But the one thing the Wildcats have is size, okay? The one thing that the Wildcats do not have, despite having the Harrison brothers there in the backcourt who have size at 6'6", is they're not great in terms of against the zone. They're not great outside shooting team. They're not a great ball handling team. And that 1-3-1 zone, you can rest assured that Michigan is going to throw it out there against them today. I know that Kentucky is on a nice roll here, okay? And I realize the Wildcats just took care of business against Louisville, and they're playing some great ball. Their only loss here in the past 3 weeks has been to Florida by 1 point, a game in which they were down by double digits at 1 point, in the SEC title tournament game in Atlanta a few weeks ago. But I'll tell you what, guys, I think Michigan is the team here to go with today. And granted, it is just a hunch. I'm just being honest with you. But I've just been so impressed with the way Michigan has been able to play on the road this year. Michigan has been able to play despite, or I should say, no matter the type of offense its opponent is displaying. It's taken on teams that want to play up tempo. It's taken teams that like to funnel the ball down low like Kentucky. Yes, the Wildcats should be able to dominate on the boards. And yes, the Wildcats have the size. But this still is a young team that really, other than this short stretch, hasn't played as a cohesive unit all season long. Michigan, you look at the talent on that team, you compare it to the talent on the Kentucky team, and you go, there is no comparison. But the key word here is team. The chemistry and the cohesiveness the Wolverines have shown you all season has just been phenomenal. I'm listening to Coach Cal's, press conference here yesterday. He used the old, the media and the world is against us. The whole team, everybody's been discounting them all season long. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, it was really it was classic. It was just not because of him either. It's just your classic coaching spiel about, it's the us against the world mentality. Well, us against the world is one thing. Us against a 1-3-1 zone, I think that's going to be a different thing. So I like Michigan plus the 2 points in this game because everybody is looking at Kentucky right now and they're going, oh my God, Kentucky beat Louisville. Hey, Kentucky beat Louisville 3 months ago too. What's the big thing? And Louisville hasn't been playing well for a number of weeks now. That's the bottom line. Okay, let's talk about the NBA. Portland Trailblazers got LaMarcus Aldridge back 2 games ago. What a surprise. After losing 8 out of 11, they suddenly won 2 straight games, hammered the Chicago Bulls on the road, and beat Atlanta on the road as well. After losing the first 3 games of a 5-game road trip, well, now they're back at home. Listen, the Grizzlies have certainly owned this series. Grizzlies have won 5 straight, including both meetings this year against Portland. This is one of those games I think that Portland has to make a stand. Aldridge wasn't particularly effective against the Bulls the other night. Didn't matter, only 5 points, but Portland won that game 91-74. Listen, Portland at home averages 108.2 points a game, and Memphis is not going to let them score 108 points. But listen, they've only scored less than 90 points 2 times all season long playing at home. Grizzlies, what can I tell you? I mean, they've been playing some good ball here, but I like Portland minus the 1.5. I did see some 2s here, so if you're going to play it, I'd get on it early. I like Portland in this particular spot. Another game that I looked at today was the Brooklyn-Minnesota contest, and I mean the Nets, have the number 1 record in the NBA since the year calendar flipped to January 1, 28-12 record. Who would have thought that back in November when we were getting ready to hang Billy King, the general manager, for hiring Jason Kidd, who looks so overmatched. I still think Jason Kidd is so overmatched. I still look at this team every single night and I go, how the hell are you winning games starting Sean Livingston in the backcourt and Joe Johnson at small forward? I don't get it. But they keep winning. And especially at home, where they've won 12 in a row and 19 of their last 21 at home. In fact, their last 11 home games, they've only given up 91.6 points per game on average. But I'm looking at this 4 spot today, and I see a Minnesota team that is just an average team on the road, a team that's not going to make the playoffs, okay? a Minnesota team that hammered them in the previous meetings this season, even though Kevin Love in the last meeting was just so-so, 17 points, 16 rebounds. But I look at the matchups here and I go, who is going to stop Kevin Love today? Kevin Garnett's still out. I mean, Karolinko's out. Who's going to stop him? I just don't see it. But the problem is, I keep thinking, boy, but Brooklyn, it's like they come back to the Barclays Center, and it's like they put on their Superman capes. I mean, they just play with such extreme confidence. So even though I was originally going to give you Minnesota as the pick here today, I just keep thinking that nagging little thought in the back of my mind, God, Brooklyn hasn't lost nearly in forever at home. 12 in a row, 19 out of 21. That's why I'm staying away from the game, but I at least had handicapped it. I figured I'd pass on a couple of thoughts about the contest. So the two free plays are Michigan and the Portland Trail Blazers. Catch you again tomorrow. Oh, no thoughts on the opening game here. Well, the pseudo-opening game here tonight between the Dodgers and the Padres. Don't really like the pitching matchup. And, of course, we got lots of baseball going for tomorrow, and that's all that counts. And I'll tell you this again, which I have told you this many, many times over the years. First 3 weeks of any sport, any season, easiest time to make money, especially so in baseball. It's the only time you have the advantage in these sports, the first 3 weeks of the season against the odds makers, because they don't know any more than you or I know about these teams. And consequently, you're going to find lines that aren't as sharp. In baseball, you're going to find favorites that aren't going to be as heavy of chalks as they will a month from now. You're going to find situations where you're going to look at these games, and these guys, the odds makers, haven't looked at any of these pitchers any more than you or I in spring training. Now, personally, I chart the progress of spring training performances for pitchers in their final 3 starts because I don't even care what they did in their first 2 or 3 outings in the spring. It's inconsequential because what happens is they're facing hitters that aren't even going to be with the teams that are going to be in AA and AAA ball, and they're only going a couple of innings. But once the starters start hitting that 5 and 6 inning mark, that's what matters to me. And you're looking for those pitchers coming out of spring that are going to give you the edge early in the season. And again, baseball is the easiest sport to bet, guys. I can't overemphasize that enough. It's the easiest sport to win in. It's the easiest sport to make money in. It's always been my best sport. It's always been my favorite sport. I do, however, understand and grant you that it is a sport that is a grind. And when they say the dog days of summer, they're talking about baseball betting, I think. That's the bottom line because it's just one of those things that you have to do it every single day. There's so many games every single week, but it can be so profitable. Anyway, talk more about baseball tomorrow. Good luck to you today, and I will catch you again come Monday.